Hi, I'm Greg Leo, lead scientist at MobLab Research. I'm going to give you a quick demo of how easy it is to get your research up and running on MobLab. First thing I'll do is log into the experimenter platform. Here you can see a list of projects. You can think of projects as folders that can hold multiple studies. Let's work in the pizza and risk project. As you can see, I already have a study running in this project, but let's add a new study. The first thing to do is give the study an internal name. This is a name you see as a researcher, but participants won't see, so we can give it a descriptive name. Let's call this Pilot 2873 for pizza and risk. We also give this a study name. This is the public name participants will see. Let's give it something less descriptive, like decision-making study. The description is what participants will see when they're deciding whether to take the study or not. Let's add some text here that I've pre-prepared. Notice you can also do some formatting. We now add the study URL. This is the URL that participants will be taken to take part in your study. I have a server running on my local computer for testing, but normally this would be a link to an external server hosted on something like Heroku. We select what devices are compatible with the study, and we choose whether the study is asynchronous or live. On MobLab, you have these two choices of types of studies. Asynchronous studies are traditional online studies like you might run on other platforms where participants take the study whenever they want, they complete it in their own time. You can also run live studies. These are studies that start at a scheduled time, end at a scheduled time, and all the participants will show up at the same time to take part with a live moderator. This is much closer to the kind of study you would run in a local lab, where you might have real-time interaction between participants like a game theory study. Let's choose an asynchronous study for this one. We'll estimate that the experiment will take about 5 minutes, with a session timeout of 15 minutes. After 15 minutes, participants will automatically be kicked out of the study to make room for another one. We'll estimate that this study only needs 10 participants. Okay, notice when I had 100 here, it said the feasibility was low. That's because I'm currently on the MobLab test server where we don't have many participants. On our production server, we have thousands of participants, so a study of 100 people would not be low feasibility. For now, let's just make this 10. We can also set demographic filters if you need a quota by age, gender, nationality, residence, ethnicity, highest level of education, or the university the participant is at. Let's leave it open for now. We now select a base payment. This is a relatively short study, so we'll make the base payment $1, and we'll use variable payment. So this is an experiment where the participants are expected to earn a bonus. In this experiment, the minimum bonus is 0, the maximum bonus is 10, and we estimate that the average bonus is 5. On MobLab, variable incentive experiments are the norm. And so we show participants the estimated average bonus along with the base pay so they can get a better understanding of how much they might earn in the experiment. We can see the total payment range there. We now decide how we're going to record the MobLab ID. I'm going to use URL parameters here. This is going to make it so that MobLab automatically sends the ID of the participant to the experiment server using a URL parameter. You can also opt to have this as a question in your study, or if you don't need to record these. Since it's a variable payment study, we will need to record the IDs so that we know how much to pay each participant. Okay, that's everything we need to decide on. We can see a summary over here. Notice this total study cost is 10. That's because we have 10 participants earning the $1 base payment. That's how much money will be reserved from your account. All of the additional bonus payments are paid from your research account on top of that, but you need to make sure that you have the base payments accounted for in your researcher account before you begin. You can top that up in the wallet using PayPal. Okay. We have the completion code here or a redirect URL. If you want participants to come back to MobLab and manually register that they've completed the study, you need to give them the completion code at the end of your study. You can also automatically redirect them to a page that will register that they've completed the study using the redirect URL. I'm going to use that option, and I'm going to set that up in my experiment server right now. Okay, that's done. Okay, now we're ready to launch the study. I'm going to click Launch Study now. We see a summary of what we just set up. I'll click to launch the study. Now the study is live for participants. I'm going to make sure that my experiment server is ready to go. Okay, looks good. Now we can switch over to the participant side of the platform. I've already logged into the participant platform here. You can see that I've earned $46 and we have a number of studies available. Let's refresh and find the study what we just created. We called it decision-making study. Okay, this looks like it's the study here. Decision-making study, $6 estimated average total with a base payment of $1 and a total range from $1 to $11. All of the device types are available. It'll take an average of 5 minutes. We can also click on that to see some additional information such as that it's an asynchronous type, and we have the study overview here. Let's click to join the study. It's now verifying that we're not a robot, and we can click to start the study. Okay, now I've been taken to my experimenter server. Notice the MobLab ID was automatically appended to the experiment. We can see that here as well. Here's the MobLab ID, confirming that this experiment server has the MobLab ID to record to the data. And we'll now complete the study. So we have question 1 about pizza preference. I prefer cheese pizza. Lottery preference. Now we're choosing between $3 for sure or this risky gamble. I'll choose $3 for sure. And we see you chose $3 for sure. You earned $3. We can now complete the experiment. Okay, this has automatically been recorded, study complete, waiting for approval. We can now switch back over to the researcher side. If we refresh this page, we should see that completion. Okay, we see it here. Base payment of $1, current bonus payment of 0. We have 2 options for adding bonus payment. One is we can add using comma-separated values, where we put in the MobLab ID followed by the bonus payment. I'll use that option now. Let me go to my study data, which automatically recorded that information. I'll copy the information from my study data. And add that this participant earned $3. Okay, we see a summary here that I'm updating the bonus of this participant from $0 to $3. This will be deducted from my experiment account. Let's confirm the bonus. That's done. And now we can approve the submission. At this point, we could add additional bonus if we want, but you can see it's already been added here, $3. You could also use this to manually add the bonuses if you wanted. Okay, the total cost of this will be $4. We can now approve. This participant's now been moved to the approved list here. If we go back to the participant platform, this should now update. Notice my available bonus has jumped up to $50. That's automatically paid to the participant. Okay, that's an overview of how to use MobLab Research. If you have any questions, feel free to email me, greg.leo@moblab.com. Thanks for watching.